Activator
Hello.
community, Hope Activator community, thank you for listening to us. Last week we had the most listeners that we've had so
Wow.
far. So thank you for tuning in, for being part of this community, for reaching out. You know, one of the things I was talking to Priya right before we came on is something that has come to mind to me over the last couple of weeks: authenticity and hope. And I said this morning, wow, authenticity is hard work. Not because we don't want to be ourselves, but because we live in a world of OPOs, other people's opinions on our left shoulders. We want, we think
That's
of
so
what
true.
we should do, how we should act, what we should say so we avoid the conflict, discomfort, or rejection. But
Right.
here's the truth: inauthenticity is exhausting. It's heavy.
It's
It
heavy.
disconnects us from ourselves and from the people we love. And I was thinking, how does hope, holding on to positive energy, fall into that? I have some friends going through some really, really hard stuff, and they know that I'm a hope activator, and they are not even seeing the possibilities. And
Oh my God.
um, and so for me, it's the strength to stay honest. It's to be okay in the uncomfortable. It's building trust. When we looked at that Gallup strength study, and hope came above trust, compassion, and stability, to me, it's about, if you don't have the hope for others, then how do you get trust, strength, compassion, and stability?
So true. Yeah. Because trust often, Jane, is considered to be the first step towards building a relationship.
Yeah.
Trust is the first thing, right?
Right.
So, how does then, um, so actually, hope is something that hope comes up when you believe in the person. So that's why trust can be gained. Trust is
Yeah.
always gained. That doesn't happen automatically.
Right.
So a relationship can be based on hope at first step.
Yeah. Uh, I also think that for hope um, and authenticity, when I think of it, even in the last 2 weeks, there have been moments where I have chosen not to say something instead of being my authentic
Oh my god.
self, to save
Um,
the peace, or really just not to want to hear it. Or I recently submitted something and I wasn't sure if I would be selected, but I had to be my authentic self and be confident and let the fear go. And to me, that's another level of how confident are you in yourself and your feelings so that you can be authentic. And I think a lot of the times we live in this, what I'll call Hallmark world, where we're seeing, so I don't know in India, I'm not sure. So think of it as the Bollywood world, where everything
okay.
looks
Yeah.
perfect, and you've got the best makeup,
Right.
the dancing's
Right.
perfect. They meet their love of their lives and everything is delightful. And then you realize that's not really reality. That's our social media is not our reality. What's happening behind the scenes is where we really need to be authentic. However, what if we were authentic just in showing up as we are on social media?
It's hard, Jane. Thank you for bringing up this topic. It is going to help a lot of people these days. We have been experiencing at every age, say in 20s, in 30s, in 40s, we realize we make new friends, right? We have to
Mhm.
deal with our old friends. We meet with relationships, right? So what happens? People are scared of being vulnerable.
Mhm.
They lose their authenticity when they feel they won't be accepted. People want to be understood, seen, and heard, right?
Yes.
And they feel they
Yes.
won't be understood, they won't be seen, they won't be heard if they are authentic. So if I am sad, right, if I'm sad before coming up this show, I'm sad and I don't want to show my true self. That,
Mhm.
in some terms, might be right because it helps me to distract. I mean, this is something positive. The things
Right.
that the conversation we are having is helping me, right? So sometimes this kind of distraction is okay. It is
Yes.
yeah, it is bringing out the authenticity. It is
Mhm.
bringing out the authenticity, distracting me, helping me to bring out the positive emotions out of myself. People
Yeah.
need, that is why people need communities, right?
Yes.
I also, in the Gallup's recent study about the happiness study,
Yeah.
um, it was written there that
Yeah.
people who share the meals, caring is sharing, they say. The
Yeah.
more you care, the more you share, the more you would feel happy, right? The more you feel happy, the more
Mm.
you will be authentic. So we have to choose our communities basically. If you are into a safe space, you would be authentic.
Yeah.
That is what I feel.
And I think that it goes to another level. I
Hmm.
I believe that many of us believe that we're authentic, but we're lying to ourselves.
Many times, yes. It's
So,
hard.
it's really looking at what what is driving me to not tell my truth. And it goes back to conflict, rejection, time. We're all so busy that in order to tell your truth, sometimes you need the time to do it. And then you have to then bring it all up again. So if it's just with you and you
Right.
don't share it, then once you share it, you've become authentic. And then you feel like you have to do something about it.
That brings a lot of peace. Being authentic brings a lot of peace. It's okay. It's okay to stammer sometimes.
Mhm.
It's okay to be silent sometimes. It's okay to be violent sometimes. When you are able to push out all of your emotions out
Yeah.
of yourself, you'll be able to really see who loves you,
Yeah.
right? This is not a game of, I mean, when we are into a sales battleground, we have to think of profit and loss,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
We, some many times we are not authentic when we are selling. That is
Mhm.
the byproduct of being a salesperson.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
It's so true.
but when we are when it comes to love and relationships, the more you're authentic, the more you will see the real colors of love. I mean, who loves you not, who understands you, right? That is the byproduct of authenticity.
And then also, when you're in the world of business and you get
Hmm.
past the transactional and you get to the relationship, then you're being authentic, right? And we've seen where transactional situations have not been received well. And we've seen where
Absolutely.
we built the
Right.
relationship and the success has come.
Hmm.
And so, as we show up as our true selves, other people get attracted to that because they feel like, you know what, it could be uncomfortable, but it's worth having the conversations. It's worth apologizing. It's worth saying, that didn't feel good to me.
Love that. Um, when we talked about in sales, like we
Mm.
are not authentic, other part of sales is also that I just read recently that when you talk about love in sales, not
Mm.
romantic love,
Right.
right? If you make an emotional connection with your prospect, with your
Yep.
customer, if you ask deep questions, oxytocin, dopamine, these hormones are released, which
Yes.
helps them make a decision and probably yes towards you.
Yeah, because all of a sudden there's this connection, and we go
Right.
back to that, right? Community, connection, feeling seen, heard, valued, and understood. And that's when, so I guess um, the other thing is that we live in a world where we worry about those OPOs, the other people's opinions. And so
Right.
when we think of that, I guess if we just showed up as who we are, why do you think we care about other people's opinions?
We want to be liked by people.
Mm,
We want people to like us.
yeah,
I mean, but they are not understanding you well, right? I mean,
right.
for some time they would like you, but we want to be people who love us, right? We want to be
Yes.
around the people who really love us, and the people who really love us have seen us crying, have seen us violent, have seen us loving, caring, all of them, all the emotions, right? We are
Yeah.
human beings, we have all the emotions. So it's not just about, so like it's always said that be kind to everyone and to yourself,
Right.
right? Vulnerability is in unkindness. Many times in
Mm,
relationship we are unkind to each other because we are human.
yeah.
But our relationship, our authenticity again helps us overcome that, right? We apologize, we understand each other. So life is about ups and downs. The more you are vulnerable, the
Mhm.
more you are authentic. It's okay to
Yeah.
fail.
Yeah. And when you think about that, it brought me to another thought of
Hmm.
um, so when you're authentic and you're vulnerable, what's the end? What do you think? What is the energy that you're using when you're what's the energy as opposed to um, just living on the surface?
Like you said in the beginning, heavy and light. When we
Mhm.
are authentic, we feel light.
Mm.
When we are light, we are uplifting ourselves.
Yeah. Yeah.
It may bring us failure, it may bring us, um, I mean, far away from, it may take us far away from our relationships, which is
Mhm.
hard, which is hard, right? People don't want to be lonely, Jane.
Yeah.
People don't want to be lonely.
And time. I think a lot of this goes back to time and how busy we all are. And I've realized when I look back over the last 3 or 4 years, when my
Hmm.
mom was at her worst, I was at my busiest because that was my way of running away from the grief. And I've now looked at that in the last couple of months thinking, wow, I've really slowed down because I that was how I was able to show up was I had to
Hmm.
be busy in order to survive. And now I'm learning that I can slow down and still survive.
Yeah, slowing down is also important as well. I
Yeah.
feel the same. I mean, all the time, keep running, responsibilities.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's okay to not complete a few responsibilities of yours so you can charge up yourself. So
Yeah.
it's okay to take breaks.
And then when you have a mistake and something goes, you make a mistake because as you said, we're all human.
Yeah.
When we choose to look at it and say, so what?
So what?
And and then really see how big of, how is this affecting my world? Some of them are huge and insurmountable. And there's a
Hmm.
forgiveness that has to be made within yourself
Right.
in order to move
Right.
on. Others are, we've created a story in our own heads that it's bigger than it needs to be. And we need to know, we have to be discerning over how much time we want to spend on a situation and how much it really matters. And that brings up boundaries. Many people that I know, including myself, get into inauthenticity when boundaries are crossed.
When boundaries are crossed, you become authentic. Of
No, I
course.
become inauthentic, right?
Vice versa.
Because I'm people pleasing. I'm worried about other people's opinions. I'm um, in the should mode. I've should on
Hmm.
myself and said I should be doing this because it's going to help the person, instead of looking at it as, that doesn't feel right for me. I'm
Hmm.
going to have to let that go.
Letting go is important. That's correct. Because time cannot, many times it happens that in our past selves we are very, even including myself, I'm harsh on myself. Why did I do that in my past? Why did I do
Mm.
that in my past?
Yeah.
But that is already gone, right? But the effect, because the effect of the same hasn't left yet,
Yeah.
or has been had been a ripple effect of something I have done in the past. So that doesn't allow us. It it is about me that I am not
Mhm.
able to forgive myself because of that. Even if I am able to forgive, I'm not able to forget it, right? So
Mm.
what can we do in those times, right? When something in the past has happened, we see its effect now,
Yeah.
because whatever situation brings, whatever we do, good or bad, right? Even 5 years from now, 5 years back, or 10 years back, or 15 years back, it has been shaping us.
So that comes with growth, right? Because as long as we're learning from whatever has happened in our lives on our journeys, and a mentor of mine used to say, things show up in your life over, and my mother used to say it, they keep showing up as lessons until you learn the lesson. So,
Hmm.
and they come in different forms, they come in different people, they come in different lessons, they come in different situations. However, when the lesson keeps coming up, you got to look at, where am I allowing this? What is my authentic self showing me, and how do I move forward?
Moving forward, I agree, moving forward is very important. And like you said, authentic, we have to keep having a conversation with ourselves,
Yeah.
because when the noise out of ourselves, when
Yes.
we sit in a quiet place, when we stop distracting ourselves and just spend some quiet time with ourselves. And I have read that in doubts, whenever you have doubts, you can journal yourself to
Yes.
bring
I do
back
it
the
all the time.
confidence.
Yeah.
So the more you do it, the more you'll be able to mirror that authentic self of yourself.
Yeah. And this goes back to, we say that doesn't mean there's not problems, there's always going to be hope. It's the same thing with authenticity. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be real. And so when I think about myself this week, I'm going to ask the question of myself, how real am I being? How authentic am I being on a scale of 1 to 10? And if I can't get to that 8, 9, or 10 as the positive side of it, I've got
Hmm.
a journal. I've got to look at myself and say, what's going on here? What is make driving me to not want to be authentic? What's an
We
action
have to
you
do,
want to
right?
take? What's an action you want to take this week when you think of authenticity and hope?
First thing, speaking to yourself in the mirror, that helps a lot. We have to journal and
Mhm.
practice, right? And like you said, other people's opinion, we have to, right? Do
Yes.
not care about that. So I once a mentor taught me that how would you protect your energy from
Mm.
other people's energy, right? Now,
Yes.
if you decide to be authentic and the other people are not behaving in the way they should be to
Right.
you, right? You, till the person they learn, till the time they learn, you have to put a wall, an
Yes.
invisible wall between you and them, so you protect your energy and be authentic to
Yes.
yourself. Whatever you speak, it's going to be authentic. You know what? Even when fights go on, during the time when we fight,
Right.
right? One voice you have internal
Yeah.
that says something, and the other voice is what do you speak from your mouth, right?
Yes.
Two voices. So you have to say that authentic voice, what goes on internally, you have to speak,
Mm.
bring that to your mouth, because that will position you to a better place now and in the future.
Yeah. And I believe that I've learned a lot of that from you. I believe I've told you this before. I think you're one of the most authentic people I know. It just comes
Thank
naturally to
you.
you to just live your truth. And, I'm still working on it. There are days that I do it better than others. And so, that's the other side of this is that this is a journey and we're all on that same path. And some of us, some days I do better than others. And with some people, I do better than others in some situations. And it comes back to, confidence versus fear, letting go of other people's opinions and really holding on to that positive energy that that we're making a difference.
When you said that I am authentic, I was thinking about myself, right? So, in the videos, in the social media, say Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever, all kind of people, our family, relatives, LinkedIn professionals are
Yeah.
looking at the video, right? So, I am authentic when with the people, like it is in front of you, right? The people who have seen my downfall, I feel
Mhm.
accepted there. It is only when I feel accepted in the downfalls I'm able to rise. In all the
Mm.
conversations and all the videos you'd see, I may stammer many
Mhm.
times because I'm thinking in my thoughts what to say next, right? But it's okay. But it's
Yes, it's
okay.
authentic.
Rising is a beautiful game.
Yes. I said this to a friend this morning who's going through a really rough time, and I'm going to read it, and then we'll
Yep.
post it. Okay.
Okay.
Today, I choose to let go. I choose to let go of the people who have let go of me. I choose to let go of people who make me overthink and question myself. I choose to let go of people who do not bring me joy.
Love that. Love that. Absolutely. In this world of unhappiness, that is something that would bring forever happiness to the people. I mean, if you are letting go of the people
Yeah.
who bring you down, who put you down, doesn't make you happy, yeah, boundaries are keeping you happy then.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So with that, I pulled us a card and we got action, which is perfect because we're talking about how we're going to activate our
Start doing
authentic
it.
selves. And we got activate, get moving and make things happen. So our hope is that this resonated with you today, that we all try to show up as our authentic selves, that we let those OPOs go, and that we hold on to hope, because hope brings us possibilities.
Absolutely. Hope brings us possibilities. You
Thank you,
can
Priya,
count on
as
hope.
always, for your
Thank
wisdom
you.
and your
Thank you
friendship.
so much, Jane, for sharing this and for bringing hope into my life.